Okay, this part that is on here, this has the layers. You remember we did a number of patterns yesterday, and just to show you this, to see if you can create this idea of making an array from a pattern, this is just showing a cast shadow. This circular shape is very similar to the microphone, almost exactly what we've done, and just starting off with a background layer. And here's just the motif that starts off, which is with this circle. So just by getting a new layer and turning off the background to make it transparent, the circle is going to be pretty large, but what we can do is at least start off with the segment. So just clicking off and making a marquee selection with the shift key held down and picking either a gray or black image to then go ahead and fill that piece, so that part is the circle. To create the secondary part, which is the shadow, you can just take the marquee selection and it'll let you move this off a little bit by picking a lighter color. Okay, the option, let me back that up, option shift delete will fill up just that piece, just that selection. And then you can deselect that and go in with the rectangular tool to try to make a rectangular selection. Hold the shift key down, and the space bar allows you to move it around, and let go the space bar adjusts it a little bit. Try to get it as close to a square that's outside that edge, and that allows you then to go ahead and define this as a pattern. You can see it's transparent to the outside, so to let what's below show through, and click OK to that piece. And then just deselect this, and on the layer below, if you just highlight this, you can give it a title, and that's just the title of it, motif for this section. And just backtrack up a little bit, create a new layer, and then just under edit fill, just go to the fill, and it'll be your last saved item, and just click on this icon in order to get back to these scripted pieces. And this pattern, when you come through, is just the first one, the brick fill, that allows it to create that array that you go through on that segment for that piece. Looks like I got some color tinted in there, so I can take a look at that as well. Just kind of go into the fill. This transparency, colors, those type of things will be that section up there, but I'll come back to that. I think I have it highlighted on a different piece. In this section too, I can free transform this and make it a little bit smaller. Tighten up the pattern itself, and then just use the move tool to center it. And then now all you need to do is to create this circular part, and just to refresh your memory, just taking the marquee selection tool, selecting with the shift key to hold that space bar down, lets you adjust it or place it above there, and just kind of encompass enough of the pattern there that you can see it. And then on the gradient tool, if you remember the gradient fills, you may have it saved from the last one we did with the microphone, so you can grab the color that you have from that one, and just using the radial fill right here. And depending on how you have the gradient set, whether it's center, here it's just as a linear gradient, so make sure it has the circular one. I thought I had that on there. And I'm going to have to reverse this so that the highlight comes right where I click the mouse, so it'll give me that section. And then just place the stacking order of that one below it. While this is highlighted, go to the layer that has the pattern on it, and just go to select inverse, and you can delete that part, and that takes that section out, and then inverse it again, and now it's just on this part. So now all you need to go is to a filter, and just like we did before, you did the spherical section on the distort, okay, and spherize, and when you pop this open, the default will give you that section that's creating that piece right there. Just click OK, and it'll bring it up to that piece. Now you can see I have some multicoloring going on this because I had it set separately, but with that texture I can also blur this image down a bit. Just I can bring back the background just to give it some value to take a look at, and just hide that piece so you can kind of get an idea. And then just go to filter, go to blur, I'm going to go to Gaussian blur, and you can see just by increasing the arrow keys will make the slider go across and increase the numbers, and you can see how it's softening or the edges that you have on that part. And click OK. And then the last part is just try to put in a cast shadow to it. So you have these two layers. Just going to go to the one that's below it to give myself a new layer. Take the circular elliptical tool and just kind of place that shape. The spacebar, I can still move this around. While I still have that gradient, I can use the same one. Just go to linear and just click and give myself the cast shadow to it. Make sure that I have it in reverse. I'm just going to click that off. So it goes from dark to light. I can hide those edges and do the same thing if I want to use a filter. The Gaussian blur is the last one that was highlighted. And I can keep hitting the keystroke, Command F, to bring that filter up. And it'll give me that look to it. So it's kind of taking that pattern, very simple idea, giving a little tone, double, kind of like a divot that you see, little hard at first, but just kind of giving you that beginning part to work with down there. So see if you can